We've seen the first confrontation on SmackDown, and tonight on Monday Night Raw, we got face-off number 2 between the champion Roman Reigns and the challenger Cody Rhodes. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, here to review Monday Night Raw, the penultimate Raw before WrestleMania 39. And yeah, it's crazy to me. I just don't understand how, like, the Royal Rumble was, like, what, 6 weeks ago? Over 6 weeks ago. We've had 6 weeks since Cody Rhodes was going to be the challenger for Roman Reigns. We've known for 6 weeks. Now, you could argue Sami Zayn was thrown in there, but forget about that. Look, we've had 6 weeks, 12 shows if you count Raw and SmackDown, and the two guys have faced off twice. A couple weeks ago on SmackDown and tonight on Raw. Like, where is the build-up? Honestly, where is the build-up? This is supposed to be the Universal title, and I get it, it's a big deal because we've almost got a 1,000-year title reign, but the build-up, man, is non-existent. Look at the build-up between Rock and Austin heading into Mania 17. You had the confrontations, you had the sit-downs, you had McMahon trying to get involved. He made The Rock manage Austin's wife so Deborah would get hurt under The Rock's watch, and this would piss off Austin. The build-up was great. I mean, Jericho and Triple H, okay, that match was underwhelming. It should never main evented, considering Rock and Hogan was on the card. But look at the build-up. You know, you'd Triple H coming back for his injury, Stephanie involved, wanting a divorce, almost killing Triple H's fucking dog. You'd a lot of, I mean, that's just 2 Manias. I mean, HBK, Cena. I'm trying to think of all the big Mania main events. There's been loads over the year, and the build-up's been better than this. Like I said, this is only the second time we've seen Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes confront each other. And for what? You know, it's retarded, man. It really is. The lack of build-up between, you know, these two, considering it is the main fight. But we will kick off then. We started the show with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn coming out, basically just saying to the crowd, oh, look, we're back together. We're friends, we're best friends, we're buddies, we love each other. You know, it's like, what the hell is this, man? It's like, it's too friendly, man. I don't understand. It's just too friendly. But anyway, the Usos come out. They say, oh, look at this fake-ass Sami Zayn. And then Kevin Owens kind of just cuts them off, and he's like, you know what, screw it. We know what we're here for. You know what we're here for. Let's do it. WrestleMania 39. Point at the sign. I mean, that seems to be the only thing they can do these days. That seems to be the only build-up, the only way to advance a story, the only way to make a match, the only way to do anything. You have to just point at the sign like an idiot. It's like, that's all you can do. It's like back in the day, matches just seemed to organically happen all the time. You know, if matches that were made for Mania, it felt big because it was Mania, but it didn't feel like there was any special privilege. It didn't feel like you had to be on the card, or you were guaranteed, or you were owed a match. Nowadays, it's just like, oh, it's WrestleMania, let's point at the sign and demand a match or something like this. Oh, we need to face you because it's WrestleMania. I mean, the Usos could just turn around and say, well, you guys haven't earned a shot, which is true. Jimmy says no. Jey Uso says, well, this could be their only opportunity to get revenge. They accept the match, and then the Usos want a little bit more tonight. So they go in the ring, but they get their ass kicked. And then we see them retreating because Roman Reigns is here. Roman Reigns has arrived, and all of a sudden the Usos don't have a ball sack between them, so they have to run to the back. I really don't like this. How it's almost like they're afraid. It's almost like Roman Reigns is controlling them, and I mean it's not very good. But I mean whatever. Usos leave, and then we get WWE Champion Austin Theory, or WWE United States Champion, sorry, Austin Theory versus Montez Ford. Basically just a match for Theory to win, to look bigger, to seem more important, to seem like on a roll, going into WrestleMania for his match against Cena. Again, what title wasn't on the line? Just a random match to kick off Raw. I mean, it was alright, like, but it wasn't great. And that's it. And then, I don't know, Theory says that, you know, Ford, they don't believe, Montez Ford didn't believe him, but he believes him now, and he points at the sign, he says Cena will believe me as well, and it's like, honest to fuck, man, this pointing at the sign thing, it's diabolical. It's almost like WWE think that they'll put on a good show by just having everybody point at the sign. They think as long as you cut a promo, but you point at the sign, it's going to be great. No, it's going to be fucking shit. You look like a retard. You look like a window licker, simply just pointing at a sign. I mean, what the hell is it? Can you imagine, like, just imagine back in the day, like The Rock and Austin, and they just didn't do anything. There was nothing special about their feud. They just came out and looked at each other, then pointed at signs. I mean, what the fuck is this, man? Seriously. The whole sign pointing thing has got to go. I think it's killed WrestleMania. It really has. I mean, Undertaker, how many great Undertaker matches did you have? And then they started trying to, introduce the whole point. I mean, Taker didn't need fucking signs. All right, he had storylines, he had feuds, he had rivalries. I mean, did Kane and Undertaker? No, did they need to point at a sign? No, Undertaker had enough of Kane trying to fucking kill him week in, week out, so he didn't need to point at a sign. He just went, right, I'm gonna fucking end you, baby brother, at WrestleMania. You know what I mean? It's like, how lame would it have been if Kane didn't come out, he didn't rip the door off the hinges, he didn't do any of that, he didn't put Taker in a casket and try and burn him alive. He simply just came out and went, brother, I want you at WrestleMania. And then he points at the fucking sign. That would have been shit. That would have been shit. And that's all we get today. Sign pointing garbage, man. Absolutely sucks. So let's move on, though, because I spent too much talking about fucking WrestleMania signs here. We get showcase matches announced. And it's these showcase matches, they're trying to call it showcase matches to make it sound more interesting. All it is 4 jobber teams being thrown together. So they've got one for the men, therefore they need to have one for the women. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. What's that? Men are getting a match at Mania, we need to give the women one too. I mean, it's not even number 1 contender shots for the titles. It's just 4 jobber tag teams being thrown into fucking matches, man. This shit isn't worthy of being on the pre-show. So let's just hope it doesn't make the main show. We then go back to the Bloodline. They're backstage. Alright, and I've got a problem with Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Honestly, man, it feels like Roman Reigns is like a head teacher and he's always scolding his pupils. You know, it does. It feels like he's the teacher and he's like, he calls them in one by one. Well, I'm looking at your Bloodline report essay and it doesn't look very good. You're getting a D- from me. The big dog, Roman Reigns, bow down to the reign, the emperor. I mean, what the fuck is this? Why does he call them in one by one to have these little stupid little talks with, man? It's garbage, honestly. Why can't he just be a fucking man and address whatever he's got to address while they're in the same room? But he calls them in one by one and it makes the rest of the Bloodline look like bitches, man. It does. 100% it does. So, yeah, whatever. He sits with Jay. He's like, hey, I need to know that you're still family. I need to know your Bloodline. Of course he's family, even if he doesn't like you. Even if Jey Uso thinks Roman Reigns is shit, even if he chose Sami Zayn, technically he's still going to be related to Roman Reigns. He is going to be bloodline because he's got that blood in him. He can't change that. So, honestly, I don't get it. And Roman Reigns is like, you're out here making decisions, but you can't make decisions unless you're bloodline. What are you talking about? The guy's won half of the championship. He's won half of the tag team championship. He can make a decision. It doesn't matter what. He could fucking join the NWO. He could join DX. He could go solo and never bloody join a faction again. He's a tag team champ. If he wants to offer somebody a match, then he can do that. It's his belt. Just like Roman Reigns can do whatever he wants with his belts. So, I don't get it. Honestly, Roman Reigns trying to demand and trying to tell Jey what he can and what he can't do. And maybe that's what they're going for. Maybe they're going for this super controlling thing. But in my opinion, it does make the rest of the Bloodline look weak as fuck. But that's just me. We got Omos versus Mustafa Ali. I mean, where the hell is this going? Seriously. Mustafa Ali had a new gimmick over the past couple weeks. But he jobs out here to Omos. Omos is fucking terrible. Up next, we get Logan Paul, and we see him walking backstage, and The Miz stops him. The Miz says, I'm sure you want me to be your next guest here on Impulsive TV. And Paul just, blows him off and pretends he doesn't even know who The Miz is. Look, I get it. It's funny. Let's bury The Miz. Let's have Logan Paul not acknowledge The Miz. And then Logan Paul's team's like, who the hell's that guy? I get it, The Miz is a heel. Bury him. Yeah, fun. Good. But the point is here, WWE's put so much time in The Miz. They've tried to portray The Miz for a decade now as this A-lister. He's like the A-lister of WWE. He's the celebrity. He's the big guy. He's the famous one. Yet in a segment like this, they'll just completely bury him. Now, we know The Miz isn't super famous. We know that his movies go straight to DVD. But still, I mean, they could have... I just don't see why they bury The Miz like this, We get it. Yeah, he's not a bigger star than Logan Paul. He's not got as many fans as Logan Paul. But it's like they spend years trying to portray his character as an A-lister, and then right here they treat him like a D-lister. It makes no sense to me. But yeah, whatever. Then we get the Logan Paul promo, and look, Logan Paul is very good. He comes out, he says, you know what, I don't need the money, I've made millions off my name, I'm here because I like it, I love the WWE, but none of you love me because I beat your favourite wrestlers and you won't acknowledge my talent. Let's be honest, right, Logan Paul, massively talented. This guy is really good in the ring. This guy is really good in the promo. From an athletic standpoint, he is better than 90% of the roster. He is, but I still don't like it. I still don't like when celebrities and people like Logan Paul come in, because for me, I like when wrestling was like in the wrestling bubble. I liked it when it was like kayfabe. I don't like the fact that, you know, Logan Paul can come in and just be a nobody, just be like a YouTuber, you know, a guy that doesn't have like a fighting experience, and he can just come in and hold his own. Same with Bad Bunny. You know, Bad Bunny comes in, has a match, and he's going 50-50 and beating, you know, established wrestlers. I don't like that aspect of celebrities coming in, but as a technical, athletic standpoint, ability-wise, Logan Paul's great. I just do not like celebrities getting into wrestling. For me, it kind of kills the you know, the wrestling vibe, the business vibe, but I mean, whatever. It was a good promo for Logan Paul. He shows replays of Seth Rollins getting punched over and over again. He put in some, like, clown face, clown emojis and some stuff like that. It was funny. I mean, well, I say funny, it was like, it wasn't pure laughing, but, you know, it was all right. Then Seth Rollins is in the production truck. He stops it, so Logan Paul's mic goes. Rollins comes out. He says he's going to have to save this terrible episode of Impulsive. Rollins blasts his own theme. Logan Paul doesn't like it. They get into a brawl. Rollins jumps on Paul's security team. Looks like he misses the jump and almost lands on his head. And then Logan Paul hits him with another knockout punch. So, yeah, there you go. Logan Paul getting the better of Seth Rollins again and hits him with another knockout blow. Then we got Dominic Mysterio beating Johnny Gargano. By the way, guys, the matches tonight were nothing short of abysmal. And I'm not one of these people that, you know, loves the matches. I personally don't think, you know, you should have loads of good matches on Raw and SmackDown. I think matches on Raw and SmackDown should be short. I think the weekly shows should be more for building up feuds and rivalries, more for, you know, developing and establishing characters, doing segments, doing promos, doing vignettes, doing all that stuff. I'm not saying, obviously you need matches. It's a wrestling show, but in my opinion, you should probably have, like, one big main event a week, and then maybe like a decent mid-card match. But I think the rest of the matches should kind of just be, you know, like 5-minute matches. I don't think you should get long matches or whatever. But Jesus Christ, you look at Raw now, and the quality of the card, it's went down the shitter, man. It really has. It's like, when did it get so bad? I mean, look at the matches we have tonight. So we've got Montez Ford versus Austin Theory. Then we have Johnny Gargano versus Dominic Mysterio. Almost versus Mustafa Ali. We had Rhea Ripley versus Bayley. Chad Gable versus Ricochet. And that was it. Honestly, does that sound... I mean, just listen to that match card. Jesus. And Austin came out the other day and said this is the best roster since the Attitude Era. Stone Cold. Think you've had too many Steve Weisers, man, because you're talking absolute pants. But yeah, Dominic Mysterio beats Johnny Gargano. Then he cuts the promo after the match. Look, it wasn't bad. He says he's going to turn up on SmackDown because the whole Mysterio family is going to be there. And then he said he's going to ask his mother if his father can take his balls out of her purse to fight him at WrestleMania. I feel like the whole, you know, your balls in her purse thing's been done quite a lot. I feel like we get that line too often these days. I mean, it wasn't a bad, you know, little promo for Dominic, but still, I feel like you get that way too much. Then we get the Usos and Solo Sikoa. They're waiting outside Roman Reigns' locker room. Paul Heyman comes out and says that Reigns is so proud of them and he wants them to take the night off. They can go on the private jet and eat seafood, but not Solo because Roman Reigns wants to speak to him. Again, you know, it's garbage. It's like, okay, I need to speak to every single one of these individually. It's like, what? Why? Again, so Solo gets excited because he thinks he's getting to eat some seafood and then he can't leave because Roman Reigns said so. I mean, what the hell is this? Seriously. It's almost like Roman Reigns is like their guardian. It's almost like Roman Reigns is like the parent and the Usos are like a bunch of, you know, 6-year-old children. It's, and what would that make Paul Heyman, the creepy fucking grandfather? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, then we get a promo from Edge. Edge cuts a decent promo. He says that he's got the devil inside him. So when he sees Balor at WrestleMania, don't be bringing Finn. He wants him to bring the demon to meet the devil. So it looks like we're going to get Edge versus Demon Balor. If this means Edge loses, I'm not for it. I want Edge to win. Edge should be beating Balor. Come on. This is potentially, Edge said like 2 years ago, he named this a retirement date. He says August 2023. So if Edge is going to, unless he changes his mind, he's going to be retiring, in less than 6 months. So, I mean, can we at least have Edge go out on a high? I'd like to see one title run. I know it looks unlikely, but Jesus Christ, he shouldn't be losing to Finn Balor at WrestleMania. Definitely not. Up next, we have Rhea Ripley, and she calls it Charlotte Flair. She says Flair is a fake leader because real leaders respect others. And Rhea says that Charlotte doesn't respect Rhea because Rhea makes Charlotte disrespect her own abilities. Charlotte doubts herself because Rhea makes her doubt herself. I didn't really get the promo. I didn't think it made a lot of sense, but whatever. Look, they've got this title match at WrestleMania 39. I think it's obvious Rhea Ripley is going to win. They should just make it for the WWE title. Why? Because the men haven't had a world championship to go after on Raw for like a year now. And let's be real, Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, both look like fucking dudes anyway. Plus, Rhea Ripley's been dominating the male roster on Raw for the past year. So you know what? Why not? Let's guarantee Raw having a major male title and have it put on Rhea Ripley coming out of WrestleMania. But then Bayley comes out and she gets involved, and Bayley says that if she wants any advice on how to beat Charlotte, she can ask her because she done it on her first WrestleMania. She insinuated that Rhea Ripley didn't, which of course we know she didn't. Then Rhea was like, no, I don't need help from Damage Control. This kind of pissed Bayley off. Then Rhea said that, look, I'm not dressed to fight, but I'm not dressed to wrestle, but it doesn't matter. I'll wrestle any one of yous. And then Bayley looks around and she says, well, I'm the only one dressed to compete, so it looks like it's going to be me. First of all, I don't get this. If Rhea Ripley isn't dressed to compete, but she can still compete, then what is stopping Io Sky and Dakota Kai from wrestling? So yeah, first of all, I didn't understand that. And second of all, I mean, Damage Control are heels. Why wouldn't they take the opportunity to go in the ring and beat down Rhea Ripley 3-on-1? Why would Bayley just be like, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to leave these two fucking sidekicks on the outside and I'm going to jump in and get my ass whipped by Rhea Ripley. That didn't make a lot of sense to me. But then Adam Pearce makes the match official. We get the match. Out come Lita, Trish, and Becky Lynch to even up the odds. Now, look, Lita looks, I mean, not Lita. Well, Lita does look great. Like, yeah, I think Lita still looks good for her age. But Trish Stratus still looks smoking hot. She does, right? For Trish's age, she looks great. But the problem is, people say, oh, she looks better than ever. That's a lie. She doesn't, okay? She does not. She does not look better than she did back in 2006 or 2002 or 99. That is a fact. She doesn't look as good as she did when she first came back to the, WWE in like 2016 after her absence. But for her age, she still looks pretty good. She might not be delivering 100% satisfaction, but she's like a solid 75%, 80%. So yeah, let's be real. She looks good, but she doesn't look her best ever. And I don't know why people do that, especially with women. It's like, oh, we have to lie and pretend that you look better than ever, even if you don't. I mean, I don't understand that, but whatever. Rhea Ripley beats Bayley. Just another throwaway match, man. Where's Bayley's career going here? It's been fucking horrible, honestly. Ever since she came back with Damage Control, she lost about 20 times to Bianca Belair, and then since then hasn't really done anything apart from lose to Becky Lynch, and now she's losing to Rhea Ripley. It's like, wow. I've got a funny feeling that Damage Control might win at WrestleMania just because how bad and how poorly and how many times Bayley has been defeated. So yeah, I hope not. I don't like Damage Control or whatever. We then get Chad Gable. He finds Otis backstage doing a manicure. We got Maximum Male Models. They have a match with Luke Gallows and Cal Anderson tonight or whatever. I don't know. Basically, Maxine Dupree wants to get Otis into her group. Otis, should I say. But Otis ends up choosing Gable. he goes with the coach. So there you go. Otis has been a good little boy. He's chosen Chad Gable, although, come on, if you had the choice between Chad Gable and Maxime Dupree, I know I'd be picking. And then it was Ricochet. So Ricochet was against Chad Gable. Maxime Dupree came out, distracted Otis, leading him to the back, and then this distracted Gable, and this allowed Ricochet to get the win, essentially. So yeah, Ricochet beats Chad Gable. Chad Gable literally cannot buy a win. Then we got the Raw Women's Champion, Bianca Belair and Asuka versus Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. Bianca Belair and Asuka win. No surprise here. And then after the match, Asuka hit some of the worst offense I've ever seen on Bianca Belair. I don't understand why people say Asuka's like the greatest striker in WWE. Fuck no! She's not even the best woman striker in WWE. A lot of her attacks, a lot of her strikes look sloppy as shit. This kick that she hit Belair with, honestly, man, it hit Belair on the upper arm. Belair blocked it with her arm, and yet she goes down, like, holding her head as if she's been knocked out. It's like, what the hell is this? I mean, every time Asuka does these strikes, where she does, like, multiple strikes, like 5, 6, 7, 8 combos in a row, it just looks very slow and sloppy, and, like, it's not good, but people say this is the best striker in the whole of WWE. Definitely not. Definitely fucking not. I think old Japanese grandma is slowing down a wee bit because she's not as good as she was. I personally always thought she was overrated, but whatever. Bianca Belair and Asuka get the win, and then we move on to the main event of the evening. Yeah, Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes cut a little promo. Sorry, Reigns says that Cody isn't the problem, but what he represents is a problem. Reigns says that Cody is what they used to be. He's like their fathers. He's a professional wrestler. Reigns says he's a fighter, and that's allowed him to become the megastar around here. Reigns says that Cody comes in and says all these things he's going to do, but we all know he ain't going to do nothing, because look at Cody's track record. Reigns says Cody didn't want to do the Stardust gimmick, so he ran away. He said he started a company, but he couldn't get over, so he ran away, and now he is back. So Reigns says that, they can chant Cody if they want, but he knows that he isn't going to beat him. He says he's not ready for this, and he says his story finishes on April 2nd. But on April 3rd, he can wake up, and that's when he'll get his moment, because Cody will have to answer to his dad as to why he is not the WWE champion. And then Cody cuts a promo on Reigns. He says that, yeah, he did run away, that the business broke his heart, and he doesn't hear people complaining about what he done and all this stuff, because, 100% of the locker room now make more money. So, I mean, Cody's got a point here. Let's be honest. People do make more money now, especially in AEW. Without Cody, there is no AEW. So, and the fact that WWE have a company that is now up and running, and AEW in terms of, ability and production and quality, it might not be anywhere near WWE, but in terms of finances and what Tony Khan can afford to pay his wrestlers, it is up there. So Cody's right, 100%. I think it's fair to say Cody has made people more money in both locker rooms. I do believe that. I wouldn't say it's to the extent of like Hall and Nash from like 96. It's not like guaranteed contracts or anything like that. But he's definitely, helped create this other company, which has, helped make bigger contracts and salaries. So Cody was right about that. He says that, look, his dad's not here. His dad's not coming to hit a bionic elbow. His brother works somewhere else. The only thing you're going to see at WrestleMania is Cody. And then Cody says, if you want to bring up my family, how about I talk about yours? Cody says, when Reigns loses the title at WrestleMania, he says, you tribal chief, you're going to have to wake up and you're going to have to remember what it feels like to lose. Without these titles, Jey Uso is going to leave you. Then Jimmy Uso will leave you too. So no Usos. Then Solo will leave. Cody then says he's seen Solo glaring at him all night. Cody says, as a second-generation superstar who once accompanied a world champion, he can tell Solo that he's not ready. And that's true, because let's be honest, when Cody and Ted DiBiase accompanied Randy Orton, when push came to shove, they got their ass kicked by main eventers. And then Cody says, when you lose, this man right here will become an advocate again. So Cody insinuating that Paul Heyman will join up with Brock again once Reigns loses. And that was it. And he says, when you lose, You're going to be a man without a family. You're going to be a Roman with no more Reigns, a chief without a tribe. And this seems to shake Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns leaves. Solo Sikoa doesn't leave. He goes face to face with Cody. He attempts to hit a Samoan spike. Cody blocks it, and then Reigns shouts at Solo because he doesn't want Solo to fight Cody. And then Solo tucks his tail between his legs and leaves with Roman Reigns as Raw goes off the air. Look, the ending promo, it was okay. Look, it wasn't bad. But I don't like these kind of promos. I don't like these shoot promos where they go into reality and we've got Roman Reigns talking about a Stardust gimmick. He's basically saying on promo that, yeah, Cody, you got a gimmick that you didn't like, so you left the company. It's like, what the hell is that? I mean, that would be like The Rock. That'd be like WrestleMania 17, and The Rock says to Austin, yeah, you know what? You've only been WWE champion recently because WWE gave you this rattlesnake gimmick. I mean, what the fuck? You know, that never happened. Like, why can't they just keep kayfabe in wrestling? Why do they always have to do these, like, shoot promos? I think John Cena's to blame, actually. I remember John Cena starting this shite, and it's became a trend ever since. Like, I'm not saying this promo was bad, because it wasn't, but I personally didn't like it because, again, it's just exposing the business. Maybe for Cody, I don't think Cody Rhodes really exposed anything. I think his promo was kind of kayfabe because he was saying that, yeah, you know what? I mean, when you lose, everyone's going to leave you and stuff. But for Roman Reigns to be bringing up the fact that, yeah, you ran away, you got the Stardust gimmick and you didn't want to do it. I mean, really? I don't like promos like that. I really don't. So, yeah, guys, there you go. That was Raw. I mean, was it an okay show? I mean, it was. When I say it was an okay show, that's probably overstatement. It was pretty poor, wasn't it? I mean, let's be honest now. 2 weeks away before WrestleMania, I'm not really excited. What I will say is though, the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, that has to go on last. It would be damn near criminal, guys, if it didn't go on last. So yeah, I don't think it will though. Unfortunately, it probably will be Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. But we'll just have to wait and see, guys. I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10. Wasn't great. And yeah, hopefully next week's show is better. And that's it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Catch you in the next one. And of course, until next time, peace.